Roar! Was that a dinosaur or a lion? I guess we'll never know what sounds dinosaurs made. Maybe they squeaked. I'm the Triceratops Pribisaurus that many of you thought was extinct till now. And welcome to our special Thursday edition of Dinosaur HQ. 4-year-olds, parents of 4-year-olds, paleontologists, Ross Geller, Jeff Goldblum, this one's for you. If you didn't get a chance to brush up on your dinosaur knowledge, let me help you. Pterosaurs had fluffy coats and probably would have made good snuggle buddies. Stegosauruses were vegetarians before it was trendy, and the original Jurassic Park movie was the best one. Sorry, Chris Pratt. Pro tip, if you get out on any of these questions and you feel sad, just picture a T-Rex trying to put on a hat. Here's how it works. I'm going to ask you 12 questions. You get 10 seconds for each. If you answer them all correctly, then you get some of that $5,000 prize money, along with bragging rights and the knowledge that you are pure dynamite. Maybe you're feeling a little less than dynamite right now? Well, that's what extra lives are for. Invite your friends using your code to get one, and then you can use one per game, just not on the final round. Shout outs to my dino loving peeps. Happy birthday from Lauren to her mom Barbie, who's a 2-time HQ champion from Pittsburgh. That's incredible. Betsy wants to tell her mom Vicky Catchkey that she's the best. Natalie and Brielle from Pennsylvania, I'm happy to see you too. Little Wesley, who's totally gonna win this thing even though he's 3. Nick, who just got home from Brazil after 2 years. Jordan Lamach, who loves T-Rexes, and Amy's boyfriend Jason, who saw Jurassic Park 22 times. Is that true? Have you been wishing that you could get a shout out? Let me tell you how. So if you follow us on Twitter at HQ Trivia, you can tell us. You can also find hints for the games, vote for what theme night we should do next, and tweet us in the middle of the night when you can't fall asleep because you're so excited for the next game. Speaking of which, let's not turn this quiz into a dino snore. It's time to trivia, Q1. The word dinosaur roughly translates to what? Fearsome lizard, weird dog, or funky chicken? I've done a lot of shout-outs, but I've got one more to Richard Owen, who coined the term dinosaur in 1841 from the Greek words for fearsome and lizard. Yeah, fearsome lizard is the first answer here at Q1, and 521,000 of you got that. I fear some lizards, so I'm not sure I would have lasted long back then, but you know, geckos are cute. Guys, if you think this is fun, you need to join us for our big Sunday night game. This Sunday and every Sunday, we give away a grand prize of $25,000. Tell your friends so you get those extra lives, okay? In the meantime, back to Q2. What present-day animal is most closely descended from dinosaurs? Cats, elephants, or birds? There's a shot at the end of Jurassic Park that hints at this. Did you do your research for the game and watch it? Well, if you did, then you'll remember at the end of the movie when the helicopter's flying away, there are those pelicans trying to keep up. Because it's birds they evolved from. Yes, 429,000 of you are flying through this quiz. Now, elephants and cats were more like baby Sinclair, not the mama of the dinosaurs. Q3. The velociraptor was roughly the size of which of these animals? Giraffe, water buffalo, or turkey? You can't believe everything you see in the movies. Though, you know, maybe dinosaurs were green, like Yoshi. We just don't know. However, we do know that velociraptors were the size of a turkey, and they had feathers. Yes, turkey is the answer here at Q3, and 250,000 of you knew that. I have to say, I do help my mom during Thanksgiving, but I don't think I'd be down to stuff a velociraptor. Can you imagine the giblets of one? Ugh. Q4. What animal was thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago until a living specimen was found in 1938? Coelacanth, Giganotosaurus, or Spinosaurus? This goes in the category called living fossils, but it was believed dead for so long that it must have been a shock to the South African fishermen who caught a coelacanth. Coelacanth is the correct answer here at Q4, and 161,000 of you got that. Here's something crazy. Coelacanths have tennis ball-sized eggs. Can you imagine having that row on your sushi? Yum. Which of these prehistoric creatures was technically not a dinosaur at all? Protoceratops, pterodactyl, or iguanodon? One of these was technically not a dinosaur. You're almost halfway there. And there in the name is your answer. A pterodactyl is technically a pterosaur. Yeah, pterodactyl, they were not technically dinosaurs at all. 93,000 of you knew that. Petrie was a pterosaur, so he technically wasn't a dinosaur either, but it's okay. We still love you, Petrie. Q6. A leading theory on the cause of dinosaur extinction was an asteroid strike where? Tanzania, Kazakhstan, or Mexico? 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid hit the Earth, and it's never been the same. Whether that's the cause of dinosaur extinction or not, it still landed off the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Yes, Mexico is the correct answer. 67,000 of you got that. All I know is spring break must have really sucked that year. Q7. Despite the title, most of the dinosaurs in the first Jurassic Park film lived in which geologic period? Permian, Triassic, or Cretaceous? Feels like Michael Crichton got married to the title before he started writing or researching. Velociraptors, T-Rex, and Triceratops all lived in the late Cretaceous period. Yeah, Cretaceous is the answer. 46,000 of you knew that. Wow. Cretaceous, it just doesn't have the same panache as Jurassic. It kind of sounds like crustacean, right? Prawn Park, Shrimp World, Jurassic. Q8. Which of these dinosaurs has a part named for a joke in a newspaper comic? Diplodocus, Stegosaurus, or Brontosaurus? Do you remember the cartoonist Gary Larson and his comic strip Far Side? Well, in one strip, a caveman named Thag Simmons dies at the hands of a Stegosaurus's spiky tail. Stegosaurus is the answer, and 16,000 of you knew that, but I would say we have our first savage question of the night here at Q8. That was kind of a Tyrannosaurus wreck of a question. So Gary Larson jokingly called it the thagomizer, that tail of the Stegosaurus, and then paleontologists adopted it. Death by thagomizer is the #1 cause of death among cavemen, which we all know totally lived at the same time as dinosaurs. Q9. Thanks to its looks, the Cryolophosaurus is nicknamed for what singer? Elvis Presley, Madonna, or Prince? Dinosaur doppelgangers. Very orange eyebrows. So maybe the T-Rex was kind of my doppelganger? Well, the Cryolophosaurus had an ear-to-ear crest across its forehead, a la 50s pompadour. So paleontologists sometimes call them the Elvisaurus. Elvis Presley is the correct answer. 17,000 of you knew that. I'm so impressed. The real question here is, did they have the same range of pelvic motion? Still under investigation. Which dinosaur could create a sonic boom by whipping its tail? Triceratops, Ankylosaurus, or Apatosaurus? Their tail can make an audible crack of over 200 decibels, which had multiple uses and might have helped them to attract mates. I'd whip my tail back and forth too if it helped with my love life. It's the Apatosaurus. Apatosaurus is what we are looking for. 13,000 of you got that. Whip your tail back and forth, whip your tail back and forth, because you have 2 questions left. Which of these is a real dinosaur species? Irritator, Dominator, or Gladiator? Which of these is a real dinosaur species? So fossil dealers artificially elongated the snout of this specimen, which is irritating when you have to reconstruct it. So paleontologists called it the irritator. Yes, that's a real thing. 11,000 of you knew that. I'm a little confused because if you're a paleontologist, don't you like doing stuff like putting bones back together? I don't know, but guys, this is it. The final question. You've made it this far. Hold on to your phones now. Brachiolegosaurus, I'm rooting for you. Q12. Which of these creatures lived closest together in history? T-Rex, Homo sapiens, Triceratops, Eoraptor, Icorosaurus, Titanosaur. Which lived closest together in history? Dinosaurs roamed the earth for 180 million years. Something around that. A long time. So long that there's more time between the earliest and last ones than there is between the last ones and us. Which means T-Rex and Homo sapiens is your answer. We have 3,897 winners. Yay, you! All right, almost 4,000 winners. That was a hard one, guys. Congratulations on that victory there. You are true paleontologists to me. Ranger Noof, you don't want to go where? You don't want to, I don't know where you want to go, but you're on the leaderboard now, maybe. So congratulations to you. Vert Lifter, $1 to you. Dave Mopedia, you've clearly been reading the encyclopedia or the Dinosaurpedia because you are the winner of our Dinosaur HQ. GearClean436, congratulations. Lala Capulo 90, Live Girl LTV, I don't know. You're living right now. Congrats to all of you. Don't be dino sorry if you didn't make it all the way because I think this might have been one of our hardest games yet. I know it was for me in all of the pronunciations. If you were wondering, my favorite kind of dinosaur is the thesaurus because it traps its prey with pretty words. Also a huge fan of Bronto burgers. Find me on Instagram and Twitter and say hi. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern with more trivia and more moolah. And don't forget our big game on Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for $25,000. This was the ultimate Throwback Thursday for me. And one more thing, remember, the reason Barney said I love you so much is because he was a T-Rex and he wants to eat us. Thanks for playing. I'll see you soon. Bye.